Oh.
Malaysia even has its own
Aku nggak nahan guys, kalau ngeliat kayak gini aku nggak nahan. Oh. Ini yang dinanti-nanti guys. Setelah 3 bulan lamanya mereka di negara Malaysia, pasangan bule asing baru berani menyimpulkan bahwa ada 10 hal yang berbeda di negara jiran itu. 10 hal yang mengejutkan yang tidak ia jumpai di negara-negara yang pernah ia kunjungi. 10 hal ini ada yang membuat mereka kagum, ada yang membuat mereka pelik, ada yang membuat mereka bingung dan bertanya-tanya mengapa Malaysia itu seperti itu. Dan ada juga yang membuat mereka kecewa. Dan mereka katakan 10 hal ini sangat mengejutkan. Pasti berbeda dari negara-negara lain. Dan 10 hal macam apa itu? Check it out.
We've been travelling around Malaysia for the last 3 months and we really love the country.
Yeah, it's just been so fantastic to see different parts of the country, meet the people and just really experience the best of what Malaysia has to offer.
Hi, I'm Jay.
And I'm John.
And we're bucket list travellers.
And in this Malaysia vlog, we're going to share our top 10 surprises of Malaysia. Our first surprise about Malaysia is how warm and welcoming the people of Malaysia are.
Yeah, everyone has been just so friendly and welcoming and really generous as well. And Malaysians' love language is food. So we've been gifted with so many different delicious foods. So the other day, a local vendor gave us some free satay, which was really delicious.
Yeah, and the most crazy thing was when we were gifted a char kway towel from the president of Johor himself. So that was really cool.
Yeah, that's one of the states in Malaysia. And we've just been humbled by how generous and kind everyone is. We felt so welcome here and it's going to be really sad
Sebentar
to
guys,
leave.
kita pause. Tadi ada dilihatkan di video ini bahwa bule ini mengatakan Presiden Johor. Tapi menurut aku apakah itu sebuah penguasa atau juga sultan yang ada di Johor? Guys, silakan Anda komen aja guys, karena ini sangat menarik guys, tentang kesultanan atau sultan yang datang ke suatu tempat dan bertemu kepada 2 bule asing ini guys. Coba Anda komen aja di bawah guys, apakah betul yang aku katakan? Apakah memang beliau adalah sultan atau juga petinggi di daerah atau di Bandar Johor? Komen aja guys, aku butuh informasi itu. Kita lanjutkan. Play.
One of the most surprising things about Malaysia is how much variety there is in its food. Malaysia has benefited from a cross-pollination of cuisines from different cultural influences over the last couple of centuries, creating an amazing array of diverse and complex flavors.
Waduh, lagi-lagi bikin aku lapar,
Malay
guys.
foods like the national dish nasi lemak and nasi kerabu, alongside Chinese-inspired dishes like char kway teow and my absolute favourite curry meat.
Oh.
And don't miss the Indian-inspired biryani and murtabak.
Oh.
Malaysia even has its own take on the hamburger called the Ramly burger.
Oh.
These are just a fraction of the Malaysian dishes on offer, and each Malaysian state has their own specialties. Make sure you visit a Malay food court known as the Medan Selera for an authentic Malaysian experience you won't forget.
We were surprised at how much wildlife you'll see in Malaysia. There are monkeys everywhere. Not all monkeys will be friendly though.
Jay, can you come and stick?
Just keep your wits about you and don't have food around them as it won't last very long. The snorkeling on the Malaysian islands was amazing. We saw turtles, sharks, heaps of colourful fish and we even found Nemo. We also saw plenty of large monitor lizards and even cobras.
And we saw a big cobra. So that was a bit freaky.
One thing we've noticed as we've been travelling around Malaysia is there seems to be a lot of public holidays. So we've been travelling around Malaysia for 3 months, and during that time there must have been 6 public holidays.
Yeah, we've experienced some of the big ones. So Merdeka, which is Malaysian Independence
Oh,
Day.
yeah.
And yesterday was Malaysia Day, another national holiday.
So these are really vibrant events, and all the community gets involved, and the locals do like to see their country as well. So you will find that accommodation can get sold out pretty quickly. So if you are travelling in Malaysia during a public holiday, be sure to secure your booking in advance.
In addition to public holidays, we found that accommodation on weekends tends to be more expensive. Now that in itself isn't too surprising. What is surprising is that some states in Malaysia have their weekends on different days. So the 2 states of Terengganu and Kelantan have their weekends on Fridays and Saturdays.
But the rest of the country has their weekends on Saturdays and Sundays.
Yeah, so just keep this in mind when you're booking accommodation in Malaysia.
The public transport system in Malaysia is surprisingly hit or miss. In Kuala Lumpur, there are plenty of mass transit options like the KTM commuter trains and the MRT bus system that make it easy to move around the city. Additionally, there are free Go KL bus services that take you to KL's key landmarks. Intercity transport options such as intercity trains and bus services are also frequent, reliable and cheap ways of exploring the country. However, outside KL, public transport services were a lot more variable. While Kuantan bus services are good, other cities like Kota Bharu and Johor Bahru don't have the same level of services. Thankfully, Malaysia's version of Uber, called Grab, is available throughout the country and is a cheap way of getting around.
Right behind us is a palace in Putrajaya. It's called Istana Melawati, and you can find palaces like these throughout all the 13 states in Malaysia.
So what we find really surprising is that each state operates as a sultanate, which means that there's a sultan, which is the ruler of that state. And overall, there's a king of Malaysia, but that rotates every few years. So the sultans take turns being the ruler of the whole country. And that's something we haven't seen before.
One thing that always surprises us when visiting countries is how people use toilets.
Yeah, so in Malaysia, you usually find a hose next to the toilet and you use that to clean yourself after you've been to the toilet.
Yeah, so you find those in both people's homes as well as public toilets. Also in public toilets, you'll find a mixture of Western style toilets as well as squat style toilets.
Yeah, and there's often but not always a charge to use a public toilet, and that's usually around 50 cents ringgit.
Our tip when you're using public toilets is to bring toilet paper with you because quite often there will not be toilet paper.
Now in quite a few of the hotels and apartments that we stayed in, especially on the cheaper end of the scale, you'll find that the shower head is over the toilet. So it's a combined toilet bathroom and it takes a little bit of getting used to.
In Malaysia, you'll find that different parts of the country have different rainy seasons. So we're in Putrajaya right now, which is just outside of KL on the western side of the country. It is the rainy season right now, which is typically from June through to August. In this period, the best area to go to is the eastern side of the country. So that's where some of the most popular islands are. So Redang Island, Perhentian Island and Tiaman Island.
Wow.
So no matter what time of the year it is, there's always going to be a good place to go to in Malaysia with good weather.
Apa yang aku lihat tadi, guys.
One surprising thing about Malaysia is that whilst there is pedestrian infrastructure, it's quite patchy and a little bit haphazard.
So we're in Putrajaya at the moment and the path has just stopped. Now there is a path on the other side of the road, but we've got to cross like a 4-lane highway here, and the path was over there. It seemed like it was going towards something, but then it just stopped. So we have been in situations where we've been walking along and then all of a sudden the path has stopped and we've been on a really busy bridge in the middle of nowhere and we've had to backtrack. And the Google Maps directions are sometimes a bit unreliable. And we've had situations where we've had to go under dicey looking tunnels. We've had to scale down the side of steep hills. So when you're a pedestrian in Malaysia, just be aware that you've got to kind of be creative sometimes to get to where you want to be.
What did you think about our 10 most surprising things about visiting Malaysia? What surprises you about Malaysia? Let us know in the comments. We've got plenty more Malaysia travel vlogs, so if you want more content like this, make sure you subscribe and hit that notification button.
We are Bucket List Travellers.
See you next time.
Yes, itu tadi pengalaman pasangan bule asing saat berada di Malaysia. Ada sisi positif dan negatifnya guys. Namun kalau dilihat secara terperinci di sini bahwa banyak sekali sisi positif yang ada di negara. Mungkin ada sisi negatifnya sedikit seperti jalanan yang putus yang ia katakan tadi. Tapi kalau dilihat mungkin tempat itu tidak dirancang untuk pengguna pejalan kaki yang ada di sana guys. Jadi mungkin pejalan kaki dianjurkan di tempat lain untuk berjalan. Mungkin seperti itu ya. Namun alangkah baiknya jika Anda tahu informasi yang lebih tepat, komen aja di bawah guys ya. Karena memang ada sisi negatif dan ada sisi positifnya guys ya. Namun kalau kita lihat Malaysia, bahwa Malaysia itu adalah negara yang dibentuk sebagai negara yang ramah bagi siapa saja guys. Termasuk orang asing yang datang ke Malaysia itu pasti mendapat sambutan dengan senyuman dan keramahan rakyat Malaysia. Dan kita lihat tadi bagaimana kuliner yang enak dan penjualnya itu begitu tulus untuk tersenyum melayani dua bule asing ini guys. Dan tadi apakah Anda melihat yang ia lihat di sini tentang satwa banyak sekali di mana? Ada ular kobra ya, salah satu ular berbisa yang sangat berbahaya masih dilestarikan, dan juga banyak monyet atau juga kera yang berkeliaran guys ya. Ada juga terlihat biawak ya. Nah, kenapa hal itu terjadi di banyak tempat di Malaysia? Karena kalau menurut pandangan aku itu adalah suatu hal yang positif untuk melestarikan tempat itu agar tetap terjaga satwanya, alamnya masih tetap dilindungi. Sebenarnya kalau membunuh hewan-hewan seperti itu tidaklah payah ya, tidaklah susah, karena memang ada banyak sekali tentara-tentara Malaysia yang dapat melakukan hal itu guys. Namun hal itu memang dikembangbiakan dari tempat-tempat wisata Malaysia. Menarik ya, karena kita akan menjumpai banyak hewan-hewan, satwa, dan juga banyak pohon-pohon yang masih tetap terjaga, masih tetap dilestarikan di sana, sehingga bagi siapa saja yang masuk ke tempat itu guys masih merasakan originalnya alam yang indah, dihiasi dengan tumbuh-tumbuhan yang langka, juga banyak hewan-hewan berkeliaran di sana. Jadi kita merasakan suasana atau nuansa alam yang sebenarnya. Dan pasangan bule asing ini juga mengatakan tentang makanan yang lezat. Orang-orang Malaysia yang rendah hati, saling bertegur sapa, banyak hewan-hewan kobra, public holiday yang banyak sekali di Malaysia guys. Mungkin ini jarang terjadi di negara lain, karena di Malaysia itu sangat banyak sekali. Dan juga penuturan dia bahwa public holiday di setiap daerah itu beda-beda. Ada yang Sabtu Minggu, ada yang Jumat Sabtu, dan lain sebagainya guys ya. Namun itu ya tergantung dari manajemen dan aturan dari daerah mereka masing-masing ya guys ya. Itu hanya penetapan di sebuah daerah saja. Dan tadi ada sultan, kita lihat apakah aku salah lihat atau tidak. Silakan Anda betulkan saja guys, komen aja di bawah. Baiklah, demikian tadi video yang baru saja kita reaksi, dan aku mohon diri, mohon maaf jika ada kesalahan dan kekurangan. Aku akhiri, wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.